Okay, good afternoon or good evening. It's 8 o'clock. I'd like to welcome the 9 of you here to our web conference to launch our first group project, which is in the week 4 module. You should all be hearing me right now using audio. I'd like you to read the red text at the beginning of the chat box for the ground rules. I'll recap some of those now. Please hold all questions about the group project until I prompt you. I will stop many times this evening to ask and get your questions. You may participate tonight via video, audio, or just the chat, but you do need to be able to hear my audio. Also, I would request that you mute your own microphones so that we're not hearing any weird background noise. We're actually getting some of that right now from one of you. So please mute your own audio until you'd like to say something or ask a question, which you can do via audio or via the chat box. So, before we get started, I just want to ask the 9 of you, are there any technical issues about this web conference that you have initial questions with? I would encourage you to type this in the chat box. For example, how do you participate, or how do you ask a question, or what should you be doing during this web conference? If you have any questions like that, this is the time to ask them. Nitong, the question you have is, why do we need this web conference? Well, for many of you, this may be your first time ever working on a group project in an online environment. Oftentimes, working in a group project in a face-to-face environment is hectic enough. So this required first meeting is a chance for you all to ask any questions you want as I guide you through step by step how this high point group project will work. Nidong, if you need any clarifications, just let me know. Brianna, what are you supposed to do right now? Right now, I'd like you to listen and also follow along as I guide you through different tabs and different areas of the week 4 learning module. At different parts of the project instructions, I will stop and then ask if there's any questions. Aurelie, you seem to have a technical question about things getting frozen. That might be a bandwidth issue on your end. Hard to diagnose. I am screencasting this, so if you want to watch it again later, you can. So just kind of bear with the bandwidth issues you may be experiencing. Are there any other technical questions about how this web conference will work before we get started? Okay, we seem to have some freezing issues. If video freezes, that's okay, as long as you can hear me. Okay, Brittany, you mentioned about an echo. What I've done is I've muted everyone except for me. and that will limit some of that background noise that's coming in. Any other technical questions before we get started on our group project instructions? Okay, let's get started. I'd like you all to open two tabs. One for the week 4 module, and one for the team geography hazard project instructions. Okay, once you have the two tabs open, I want to walk you through the week 4 learning module. Specifically, you're going to scroll down to the area Team Geography Hazard Project 2. The first link will be the Team Geography Hazard Project instructions. Click on that and open it. Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to walk you through the six main elements of the Team Hazard Public Service Announcement Project. Okay, so let me explain this project a little bit to you. You can read this and follow along with me by looking at the project instructions. So, there are 6 things you need to do for this project. The first one you're doing right now. Okay, so number 1 is attend this web conference. You can check that off your list. Number 2, as a team, you need to fill out and create a group contract. So you might be asking, what team are you with? Who have you been assigned to? Let me show you where to go to find that. Okay? In a new tab, open our course homepage. Click on the People button on the left. Then click on View User Groups. You should see Team Hazard Group and then a number. So the individual that is in your group will be your team member for the duration of this project. So I'd like to open it up to questions now. Questions about how to find your team member. Does anyone have questions about how to find your team member? So Aurelie, you'll want to click on People, View User Groups, and then you should see your Team Hazard group. Okay, I'll field additional questions at the end at different components, so let's continue on. So go back to the project instructions, item 2. So as a team, you in your group are going to create a group contract. And what the group contract does is it outlines who needs to do what part of the project and when they need to do that by. It also outlines how and when you can fire someone. This is a key point here, so listen up. Some of you may have anxiety because you don't like working in groups. So if you get teamed with someone who quite frankly sucks and doesn't do good work, you can fire them if and when they violate the terms of your contract. So please fill out this contract knowing that it will be used if someone is not pulling their weight. How do you fire someone from your group? It's clearly outlined in the group contract document. The group member must alert the student and CC me. I will then determine if the person has violated the contract, and I will fire them. What that means is that the individual will be required to complete an original version of the project, not using any of the previous work done by their former group, by the existing project deadline. The individual who has to fire a member, they automatically get an extension of 72 hours to compensate for any additional work that they have to do to make up for the fired group member. So that means that the fired group member gets a grade that is separate from the existing group member because they are doing now separate work. In the event that you do not have to fire someone, which is the ideal, both of you will get the same grade on all group project assignments. So in item 2, you need to complete a group contract, submit it via the link by Thursday at noon, and you will receive points for that. So let me open it up to questions. Any questions about item 2?